SevereMMA here with Artem Lobov at SBG Ireland in Dublin. You've been making some headlines recently with your comments calling out Jose Aldo. There's been a bit of a backlash to it. Do you want to clarify what you're trying to say?
I meant no disrespect to Jose. I understand the position I am in and I understand the position he's in. But, just based on the fact that he was so obsessed with getting that rematch with Conor, and given the fact that he lost his last fight, Conor is planning to box, it just looks very unlikely that he's going to get that rematch. So I thought, it would be somewhat of a nice fight for him to fight the guy that helped Conor get that 13-second knockout, and that would be me. So I thought he's probably 2 fights away from getting that title shot, again. So why not make the first one, somewhat of a redemption fight, and then if he beats me, he can get the title eliminated then. That's all I thought.
You also made some headlines with your comments about Demetrius Johnson and his statement and the whole TJ Dillashaw situation. Do you want to clarify what you were saying on that?
The same with Demetrius. He must remember where he was before the UFC. His weight class didn't even exist. They created the weight class for him. They gave him an opportunity to become a world champion. They gave him an opportunity to earn a lot of money, and this is what he does to them. And he's the one always complaining that he wants to get pay-per-view, he wants to get more money. But whose fault is it that no one watches his fights? It's not the UFC's fault. They try to push him as much as they can. They want to make money as well. It's a business, and this is the fight that they offer him that people would actually be interested in. And as a champion, they didn't ask him to go up in weight class. They told him the guy is going to come down to his weight class, and as a champion you should be prepared to face anyone that's going to make the weight. And like I said, that would be a fight that people are interested in. So what is he complaining now?
There's been a lot of talk over the years about maybe not a union but a fighter association, and apparently at the fighter retreat which you were at, there was a bit of a secret society attempting to be set up on WhatsApp maybe. Can you talk to us a little bit about the talk in the fighter retreat?
Well, I tell you one thing, no one approached me about that because they know better. It's not something that I would ever support, because to me, I like the way the UFC works. In the UFC, if you're an earner and you're a go-getter, the paychecks are like the Irish weather, always raining.
Your last fight was a main event against Swanson. A lot of people maybe thought before the fight that you didn't deserve the main event and that you were going to get finished by Swanson. Do you think you surprised a lot of people in that?
I don't know. To me, it's kind of hard for me to get any positives from a loss. I lost fair play to Cobb. I thought I was better than him, and he proved that I wasn't. I'm not there yet. I still have a lot of work to do. I'm already on another level from that fight. I'm constantly working, constantly improving, and I look forward to my next challenge, and I look forward to showing that inside the octagon.
It seems you've made, to me anyway, that you've made a lot of improvements since the second Diaz fight, particularly since Conor's camp for the second Diaz, where you were over in the Mac Mansion in Vegas training. Do you think that was the turning point for you to improve to what you are now?
I've had the skill for a long time now, but it's being able to show those skills on the night. So that has been the biggest improvement for me, is getting more comfortable in that octagon, under those lights. So that's been the main thing for me. The more experience I get inside that octagon, the better I will look.
Your coach John Kavanagh wasn't in your corner for the Swanson fight. Did that affect you at all, or is it kind of a routine to have him there and to kind of bounce ideas off him, and then between rounds you think he maybe could have given you some advice that might have helped you in the fight?
At that stage all the work is done, and like I always say, even if he is not in my corner, my team is always with me in that octagon, in my mind, and most importantly in my heart.
There was a few very funny videos going around at the fighter retreat with Neil Seary and yourself. Did he give you a bit of a hard time over there, did he?
We had great fun there. Neil is a good guy. We met Rashad Evans there as well. He was a cool guy, and many other cool guys, to be honest. It was a bit of a something unusual, something that I've never done before, but it was a lot of fun. So thank you UFC for doing that.
Is there any word on another fight? Have you been talking to Sean Shelby or the UFC at all? Maybe on the Glasgow card?
I'm always looking for fights. I don't know. We'll see what the future holds now, but hopefully I'll get a fight booked very soon.
A lot of people criticize you. They say, "Oh, you're just Conor's punching bag. You're only in the UFC because of Conor." Like, how do you respond to that? Does that bother you at all, or?
Not at all. It's to me. I know where I came from. I've proven myself over the years. Those that understand fighting, those that know the business, those that know the MMA scene, they know exactly who I am and what I represent. I let my performances speak for themselves. In time, everything will become clear.
Is there anything in your game that you think that the fans haven't seen in the UFC yet that you haven't had a chance to implement?
I'm constantly improving. I can do everything. Like I said, I train with a two-weight world champion on a daily basis. There's nothing that I haven't seen. There's nothing that I cannot do. So, there's many things that people haven't seen yet.
We just watched some rounds of Conor sparring there before boxing sparring. How close do you think the Mayweather-Conor bout is?
Well, I'm hoping that it is very close. But it doesn't matter, where Mayweather is at. We're training, we're getting ready to box, regardless. So.
Will you be one of the sparring partners for the rounds of Conor, do you think, in the lead up to it?
I certainly hope so. I've contributed a lot, over the years. We have a great team. It worked against Aldo, it worked against Poirier, it worked against all the other guys. So why change anything now? Why change the winning formula? Stick to what we know, stick to what has proven to be working for us.
Yourself and Conor and the SPG lads are big men for visualising and looking to the future and kind of planning ahead. Maybe you even called the Aldo fight before it happened the two-weight world champion. Even John Kavanagh was talking about three-weight world champion for Conor. But even you guys, did you see this Mayweather-McGregor potential bout talk before it started, or was it just come out of the blue to you?
No, absolutely. Like I said, I was talking to Conor about this fight before he even became a featherweight champion. This was before the Mendes fight even. We were on the world tour together, and it just came up in the conversation, and I thought this would be a great fight. The greatest mixed martial artist of all time versus the greatest boxer. What's not to like?